Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you had a great week. Hope all of you having a great Friday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got to talk about the NFL. In particular, Mr. Jaxson Dart. Clap it up. Clap it up. Jaxson Dart, and also I want to talk about this guy a little bit. He is a psychopath, with all due respect. Cam Scatterboo, they went off last night. They upset the reigning Super Bowl champs and Jalen Hurts 34-17 in a game in which, I don't think there's any debating this, the Giants were just better than the Eagles in. I don't want to say they dominated, but they most certainly outplayed them. Especially in the second half, Scatterboo, he enforced his will, had 19 carries for 98 yards, 3 tutties. How about that? I was hoping they'd give him an extra carry. That's all he needed, one more carry. He for sure could have got 100 yards. Hoping he eclipsed that 100-yard mark. Didn't do so, but still, rather great showing from him. The Giants are really fascinating to keep up with, especially since Dart has taken over the reins from Russell Wilson. And let me ask you all a question. I'm being dead serious. Does Russell Wilson just stink now? Golly, he used to be so good. I guess he just washed up. And did y'all see that little debacle between him and who was it? Oh, not him. I'm talking about Brian DeBall and the trainers, where he was freaking out because Russell Wilson went in for a couple plays and looked awful. He's heading over there to the, what would you even call that? I don't know. It's just a tent with all the staff. And he's like, hey, hurry up. We got to get Jaxson Dart back out there. There's no way Russell Wilson's going to sabotage this game. He was freaking out. Rightfully so. They shoved him out. Cam Scatterboo was even like, hey, when's he going to come back? They shoved him out. They're like, look, we got this. Calm down. Fortunately enough, they got Dart back out there. I'm telling you right now, if Wilson would have remained in that game, he might have single-handedly lost it for him. He has been abysmal, but shout out to the New York Giants, not just Scatterboo and Jaxson Dart, who are going to get all the love. The entire team, the defense played good as well. They got that interception on Hurts in the second half. What we got to get into in today's video is the man, the myth, the legend himself. Jaxson Dart. I love me some Cam Scatterboo, but this video is not for him. Let me know in the comment section. Maybe we should make an entire separate video just talking about him and how great he's been up until this point. By the way, how in the world did he fall to the 4th round? What are these NFL teams and GMs thinking? I digress. Getting back on track here at Jaxson Dart. Heading into the NFL draft, I told you guys, but most people did as well, so you didn't have to be a elite quarterback evaluator to come to this executive decision that Jaxson Dart was one of the best quarterbacks in the draft. We saw it at Ole Miss. He was one of the best quarterbacks in college football. There's a reason Lane Kiffin loved him so much, because he was that good. Fast forward time a little bit, he got selected by the Giants in the 1st round. There was a wee bit of controversy there. Some people were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they selected him over Shedeur Sanders. Well, turns out it was the right pick. Not going to get into the whole Shedeur Sanders falling in the draft thing, although I thought he was just as good as Jaxson Dart. A main reason they decided to go with Dart is because of his personality. There wasn't going to be a lot of drama with Dart. There wasn't going to be any off-the-field problems, stuff like that. It was going to be football and football only. Which, Shedeur Sanders, with all due respect, you know it comes with that. Like I was saying, the Giants decided to go with Dart. Turned out to be a fabulous choice. They originally let Russell Wilson start the season. Things didn't go so well. They lost to Dallas in overtime, lost to the Chiefs, and they were like, you know what? We've had enough. We're going with the young buckaroonie. Give us Dart. Plug Dart in there, and in the first game as a starter, he beats and upsets the Los Angeles Chargers 21-18. Very nice, very nice. In that ball game, he was 13 for 20, had 111 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 INTs, and he had 54 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. He played really good in that game. If I had a grade him on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give him a 7. There's a lot of people saying, well, I don't know why he's getting hyped up. He only had 111 passing yards. That's not anything crazy. If you're one of those people saying that, just tell me you don't know ball without telling me you don't know ball. You can't just look at the passing numbers, especially when it comes to a guy like Dart. He's a definition of a dual threat quarterback, and also he took care of the ball. He did what he needed to do, and more importantly, or most importantly, a better way of saying it, his team won the game. Controlled the game. I thought he played really good, and it didn't look like the moment was too bright for him. It looked like he was just playing football like he was at Ole Miss. That's rare to see in even a second or third year quarterback, especially rookies. Rookies, more times than not, they look like a deer in headlights. Everything's going way too fast for them. They can't process, read the defense. They're making terrible decisions. But Jaxson Dart, he looked calm, cool, and collected. He looked really comfortable out there. Here's a $1 million question, though. Was that a fluke? Could he replicate that performance? In the following week against the Saints, one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the worst team, they lost. I guess technically the Saints aren't the worst team. Maybe it's the Jets. But you get the point. They're one of the worst teams. Came up short 26-14. He was 26 for 40, 200 passing yards, 2 tutties, 2 INTs. But he also had 55 rushing yards in that game. There's not much to say about that game outside of it wasn't a good showing. You got to move on to the next week. It's going to happen. It's the NFL. And in the very next week against the Philadelphia Eagles, which we saw on Thursday night, he lit them up. You can't play too much better. 17 for 25. That's great. 200 passing yards. That's great. Completed right at 70% of his passes. 68 if you want to be a nerd. I just rounded up. 1 tutty, 0 INTs, took great care of the football, had 13 rushes for 58 yards and 1 touchdown. We're going to do it again. Clap it up. Primetime game, Thursday night. That's what you love to see if you're a Giants fan. Do you have your franchise quarterback? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? I don't want to jump the gun too early. He's only had 2 really good performances. The game against New Orleans wasn't so good. And he's only played in 3, or not played in, but started 3 games in the NFL. I think it'd be a little ridiculous to say, oh, yep, we find our guy. This is our franchise quarterback. Lock it in. No. Calm down, partner. You don't want to do all that. You remember what happened with Daniel Jones in his first game ever? He was fabulous, and then, well, he's Daniel Jones. He sucked it up after that, and I already know what some people are going to say. Well, Matt, Mr. Matt, look at what Daniel Jones is doing with it. Look, I know you dork. Calm down. I see what he's doing with the Colts, and he's doing really good over there. But I'm talking about with the, why am I drawing a blank on? Oh, yeah, the Giants. He was awful with the Giants. He was a trash can. Am I trying to sit up here and say Jaxson Dart's going to have a similar career? It's going to start out really good like it is now, and then he's going to fall like an omelet? No, I am not. What I am saying is you should have the approach of, what's the best way of saying this? If I were you, I'd be cautiously optimistic. You can celebrate what has happened up until this point. You can feel excited about it, but also have some pullback. Be like, well, we need a larger sample size. Let's see if he can continue to do this the remainder of the season and the beginning of next season before we crown him as the franchise quarterback. If you gotta ask me, I think this situation is different from the Daniel Jones one because I never believed in Daniel Jones. If you've been watching the channel for years, you would know this. I always said, look, he's not gonna amount to anything. I don't know why he got drafted that high. When it comes to Jaxson Dart and the New York Giants, I feel completely different, and it's because of his play style. I'm not comparing these guys, but they have a similar play style. Who's more athletic, Lamar Jackson or Jaxson Dart? Obviously, it's Lamar Jackson. But I don't think some people quite understand how athletic, how quick, and just how elusive Jaxson Dart is when he has the ball and he's doing some of those read options. He has this savviness to him where he knows when to speed up, he knows when to wait on his blockers. It's very smooth, and it's fun to watch. Here's what I'm trying to go at with this. He has not just a good, but a great feel for the game. And why this should be music to your ears if you're a Giants fan, we're just talking about his running abilities. I'm not talking about what he can do through the air. He throws some of the prettiest balls you're ever going to see. He is so accurate. You saw it last night, even on some of the incompletions. He is dropping that ball in a bucket. Great touch on the ball. Knows when to loft it. Knows when to zing one in there. He's everything you could want in a franchise quarterback. He's got that swagger and moxie to him where he just lifts the team up and others around him. You saw it when he went out of the game. The energy didn't just leave the team, it left the stadium. And when he went back in there, it's like, oh yeah, we're back. I legitimately feel like the Giants with Russell Wilson, they couldn't even make the playoff. But I feel like the Giants with Jaxson Dart, yeah, they can win a couple of games in the playoff. Dart's a total package. He has everything you want in a starting quarterback in this league. He's 6'2", roughly 220, 225 pounds. Can move a little bit. Throws the ball great. I'd say at this point in time, I'm not scared to say it, he's already a better passer than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has never been a good passer dating back to his Oklahoma and Alabama days. Hurts is all right at passing the football. He makes do, but why did he win a Super Bowl? Let's be honest. Because of the Eagles. It's not like he carried them there. Dart's the type of guy that can single-handedly revive a team's offense. At least that's how I feel about it. He brings so much to the table. I think the future's bright for the Giants. And let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about Jaxson Dart up until this point? And how do you think he's going to look throughout the remainder of the season? I expect him to have a good year, but even if he doesn't, it's okay. He's a rookie. Rookies normally have a bad first season. Right now, he is 16th in the National Football League in QBR. That's really good. If he could finish a year there, you'll take that. If he could finish with 20 passing touchdowns to 10 interceptions, and we'll say maybe 400, 500 rushing yards, I consider that a good year. I'm excited, though. I can't wait to see how this young man continues to progress and develop. There's many more things I could say. We're going to end it off here. Let me know your thoughts down below. But